Hi guys, and welcome back to the Cassie projects. I've done this intro about 100 times, can you tell? In today's video, we're going to be doing another episode of Create This Book,
which I'm so excited about.
I keep going through different prompts all the time and I'm like, oh, which one should I do? Which one should I do? And I finally come to the three that I would like to do for this episode. Really excitingly, number one, create a building. The reason I'm doing this one is because over the last few months I've been having this craving to do buildings. I want to do one of those perspective drawings, you know, where it like they use string and things to get all the perspective right. I want to do that style, city, landscape kind of thing and just try it out. Originally I wanted to be a interior designer, an architect, so it's always been something that I've been very interested in. This one is going to be a bit experimental because I don't know if I'm any good at it, you know. I might have wanted to go into this, but it doesn't mean I'm very good at it. You may have noticed over the last few weeks I've been doing a bit of a David Hockney-esque theme. So I found this page and I was like, boom, this reminds me of David Hockney instantly. Create colour dispute. Draw a picture using all the wrong colours. Examples: purple grass and pink trees. Instantly it made me think of that picture that I did on my nails. Yeah, because he uses like purple trees and things like that. So I just wanted to dedicate this page to a David Hockney. Who's David Hockney? Esque landscape theme. Maybe not even landscape. Who knows? Let's see where the art takes us. Finally, the real big challenge is create a window. It's a two-part drawing. We have one page and we also have the second page. The first page is to create the window. The second page is to create the view. So that makes it quite a challenge for me because I've got to do two drawings. On the first page, I'm going to do, again, interior design style thing. I've been drawing a bit of furniture in my Inktober challenge thing, and I thought, oh, I like that armchair, I want to draw an armchair. So I'm gonna have an armchair, I'm gonna have a little side table and some curtains and a window. On the next page where I've got my view, I am going to do a beautiful landscape using my watercolour because I'm really enjoying this medium. I think I found the one. I think it's the one. I'm really excited about doing the create a window. I think it's gonna just be a bit different and a bit fun, and I get to use my crafting knife and cut a hole through the page. Fingers crossed it all goes to plan. So that is what this episode's going to be about. This intro is really quite long. Let's crack on with this episode. First thing that I did was I went on my phone, found loads of images of what I wanted on this 2-page spread, and I basically put all those images together on a Photoshop app on my phone to decide where I wanted it to go. Now I need to draw that image on this 2-page spread. You've probably seen me do this loads of times on my other videos, where basically this is my little tip to help me get my perspective right. So I take a picture of my first initial drawing and then I overlay it over my reference image, and this just allows me to check that I have got things in the right place and the right sort of size. So my armchair looks big enough so that it's in the right perspective compared to the window and so on. So that is my little tip for you. It just helps me develop my perspective skills, and since I've been doing that, it's just pushed me to do better when I do that initial drawing. This bit really excited me because I got to cut holes in my page and create a window. I got out my crafting knife and I put my cutting board underneath so I could cut out the little squares. It was a very delicate job this, but I managed it and it looks pretty cool. now I seal that in with some Mod Podge just to protect that. And then on the second page, I put in some watercolour paper. I do this because I'm going to be using watercolour for the next part, and I'm not sure if the book will hold up with watercolour. So yeah, I used some Pritt Stick and popped a piece in, and then when it dried, I just went in with my crafting knife and just cut around the pages. And there we have it. We have a nice little watercolour page ready to go. I also needed to cut out the holes again for my window, which I had to do really carefully. But yeah, it worked and I was really pleased. So now that is finished, and I absolutely love it, by the way. I'm going to decoupage this so I don't get any transfer. I am so pleased with how this has turned out, and I'm really glad that I went for the outside of a house around the window, because I was just going to do a landscape, and then I was like, the window in a landscape is going to look a little bit weird. So I think it just ties it all together. I'm going to decoupage it and then show you some pretty shots of my create a window. So let's do that. Next up, we have got create a building. So what I wanted to do was some kind of perspective thing, and it actually says create plans for a building, and it didn't obviously read that completely. I have found a lovely little street in France using Google, because we don't really go out anymore, do we, during these times. And I just fancied doing a nice drawing. I'm just going to spend the next few hours just drawing and enjoying myself. So enjoy watching me draw. Here is my finished drawing. I'm super pleased with it. It went really well, and to be honest, it was just so nice to have some me time. I really enjoy just doing a black and white drawing and just developing my skills that little bit more. But it's funny, because I've been using watercolour so much, I actually felt like it wasn't finished because I hadn't added colour yet. So yeah, that was really interesting, because usually I'm just a drawer, so I'm starting to get that that momentum of being a painter, if that makes any sense. So what I've also done is add a layer of the decoupage matte glue over the top of that, and that protects it from any transfer when the pages are together. And now we're going to move on to the David Hockney-esque, the Creator Colour Dispute. So I'm really excited to do this, use my watercolours and see if this Inktober has really developed my skills. I'm really excited to do this. I'm going to take it literally, where there'll be purple trees and pink grass. So after getting the first part with pencil, I then went over it with my fine liner pens, which are Unipin, and I use the 0.1, which is super fine and it really gets that detail. I then rub out the pencil and go in with my watercolour. You'll notice that I'm going in with the watercolour straight into my book, which is really annoying because I didn't even think about it until I started doing it, and it's not on watercolour paper. But hey, it looks like it's held up pretty well. It's not too bad actually. It's not the most satisfying thing to draw, to paint on, but it worked. It's a bit wrinkly, but I'm going to iron that out, and yeah, it's pretty cool. As you can see, I am ironing out these pages because I didn't use watercolour paper, so they were quite wrinkly, and it worked brilliantly. They turned out flat and beautiful, and then I'm popping some decoupage over the top just to protect that as well. I am so pleased with myself. I've done so much work over the last couple of weeks to film this video and to complete these 3 pages, and I really think my practice, especially with painting, is really paying off. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more videos, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next week. Bye!